busy. And we're going to just get started on page 145. We're done with the practice for the test. We're going back to our regular lessons now. Okay, so get out your grammar books and we're going to go to page 145 today. You're going to need your binders too. We're going to get back into our regular stuff this week. Hopefully you guys are done with testing. If not, that's okay. You'll get there eventually. And then we'll just move on. But
I'm doing mine on April 20th.
okay, so you still have yours to do like after Easter. Um, that's okay. You have until like the end of May, I think, to do it. So if you haven't done it yet, that's okay, you will. But you guys are ready. You're ready for the test. So we're going to move on to regular stuff. So this is talking about prepositions. You already know about those. That's why it says review it at the top. A preposition starts a phrase that shows the relationship between a noun or a pronoun and another word in the sentence. So that's what the job is. It shows the relationship between a noun or a pronoun and something else in the sentence. Look at this example right here. It says, the soldier fell into the moat. So into right here shows the relationship between the soldier and the moat. It shows where the soldier fell. So into the moat is the prepositional phrase right there. And then it says the soldier jumped over the moat. Over shows the relationship between the soldier and the moat. It shows where the soldier jumped over the moat. So into and over are two examples of prepositions. There's a lot though. So write a sentence with a prepositional phrase that shows the relationship between princess and bridge. So think about princess and bridge. Can you think of a prepositional phrase? I see Sawyer's hand. Go ahead, Sawyer.
The princess crossed the bridge.
Yes, except for you would need the word over. So try it with the word over.
The princess went over the bridge.
Went over the bridge. That would work. Or you could say crossed over the bridge. Either way. I like that. Does anybody have any different ideas? Ashlyn?
Like I meant the princess crossed the bridge.
It would be crossed over
Uh,
the bridge. Yes. We need that word over because that's the preposition. But I like it. That's a good one. And I think the other idea Sawyer had was the princess went over the bridge, or maybe she walked over the bridge. That would work too. Sawyer, did you think of another one?
yeah. I was thinking went towards the bridge.
Towards, yes. I think that's a preposition, right? Let me double check here. Towards. Yeah, that would work. Toward is a preposition. So yes, that would work. Toward the bridge. Or even across the bridge. The princess walked across the bridge. That would work too. Across is actually a preposition. So any of those sentences would work. You guys decide which one you want to write. You can copy mine or you can come up with a different one. And then after that, it says answer these questions orally. That just means we're going to talk about it. And the first question is, what is the prepositional phrase pattern? And that means in a prepositional phrase, what's the pattern? What do we have? We have the preposition, that's the first part, and then the noun or pronoun. Okay, so usually it's preposition plus a noun, no verb. That's the pattern for prepositional phrases. They do not have verbs in them. So like over the bridge, over is the preposition, the is an article, you guys know that, and bridge is a noun. So that's the pattern. And then it says list 5 prepositions. List 5 prepositions. Okay, so we need to go back to our prepositions page. You should have a post-it here. Do you see a post-it that's sticking up that says preposition on your book? Yes, you should. Go to that page. It should be page 43. Yep. Where it says prepositions, you can go to that page where you have the tab. See the list down here? There's a bunch. These are all the prepositions. So it says we can pick 5 of those. So you can pick any 5 and write them here next to the list of prepositions. So who wants to give me one word from that list? I'll make a list here on mine too. What's one word from the list, Sawyer? Uh-oh, gotta unmute.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Beyond?
Beyond, good, that's one.
Like she went beyond the bridge.
Yes, I like that. Ashlyn, what's another preposition on the list?
Over?
Over, good. And then London, what's another one?
Under?
Under, good. And then Julio, what's another word from that list? Any of them on page 43.
Up?
Up, good. And then we need one more, Sawyer.
Onto?
Onto, excellent. So we got, and you can write these down on yours. Beyond, over, under, up, onto. And obviously that list has a bunch, probably like, I don't know, like 40 different words. So there's a lot of prepositions. So it's always good to go back to that page. If you ever get stuck on finding your prepositional phrases in your grammar books for homework, you can go back to that page on page 43 to help you find those words. While you're writing that down, I'm going to talk to you about this part down here where it says think about it. Rather than reading it, I'm just going to explain it to you. Did you realize or did you know that the word since is on your list of prepositions on page 43, but it's also a www.asia word. It's on both lists. So the word since could be a preposition or it could be an adverb clause. So you have to look at the words around it to decide if it's a preposition or if it's part of an adverb clause. So right here, look where it says prepositional phrase. It says the princess had been sick since yesterday. Yesterday is a noun. So since yesterday is a prepositional phrase because there's no verb there. But look at the next example where it says adverb clause down here. It says the princess has been sick since she ate the apples. Ah, there's a verb, ate. So since she ate the apples, that's going to be an adverb clause, even though since is the same word. So it's really important for you to know when you read a sentence to see the context of the sentence. How is that word being used? Is it near a verb? Has it have a verb after it? Then it's probably an adverb clause. If it doesn't have a verb after it, it's a prepositional phrase. So watch out for that word since. It can be either one. You have to see what the sentence says, okay? All right, let's move on to the practice page. I'm going to have Ashlyn read the sentence today. This is 147. Oops, you're mute. Oh, I don't hear you yet. Go ahead, Ashlyn, when you're ready.
It grew and grew to the floor, out the window, and over the lush lawn.
Oh my goodness. And what do you guys remember? What are we talking about here? What's growing? Sawyer, remember what's growing?
Hold at room temperature.
The nose.
Her nose. This is the princess. Her nose is growing and growing and growing. And then we have this vocabulary word lush, lush lawn. That's like a really green, healthy lawn. the grass. Okay. It's the kind of grass that you would want to take off your shoes and go barefoot and run around on. It's nice and soft and green,
Or just cut.
or just cut. Yes. But where it's really fluffy, you've probably seen lawns like that before. Those are nice to be barefoot on. Okay, so that's what lush means. Really green and healthy, soft. So we have 3 articles. Go ahead and find those by yourself first. Okay. And then Julio, when you're ready, find the 3 nouns.
Floor,
Floor. Yes, floor is one. Good.
window,
Yes.
lawn,
And lawn. Good. That's it. Floor, window, and lawn. Very good. There's one pronoun, London. Where's the pronoun?
Um, it.
Yes, good. And it's talking about the nose, because the nose is not a boy or a girl, so we're not going to use he or she. It is referring back to the nose. How about the adjective, Sawyer? Do you see the adjective describing one of the nouns?
I already did it.
Good. What's the adjective?
The lush.
Lush. Good. That's the adjective. What about the coordinating conjunctions, Ashlyn?
And
And,
um and and
and, and. Yes. We're going to come back to the prepositional phrases. So, Julio, how about the subject verb pairs? Let's start with the verbs first. Where are the verbs?
over,
No, not over.
grew,
Grew. There you go. Grew
and grew.
and grew. And then what's the subject? What are we talking about? What's growing and growing here?
It,
It. Good. The subject is it. And grew is what it is doing. Now the prepositional phrase for London, there's 3 of them actually.
over the lush lawn,
Over the lush lawn is one. What else?
out the window,
Out the window.
grew to the floor.
Not grew, but to the floor. So your prepositions are to, out, and over. And the whole phrase, each phrase is to the floor, out the window, and over the lush lawn. Ashlyn, did you have something to say?
I had a question.
Okay.
When there's um like 2 pronouns and like one, and it shows like 3 pronouns that could be pronouns. Sometimes I don't know which ones are pronouns and which ones aren't.
Okay, so pronouns are the ones that actually take the place of a noun. It's easy to remember because pronoun has the word noun in it. That's one clue. And then your other clue is usually it's like when you're talking about a person, it's he or she, or
Yeah.
sometimes they, right?
Because sometimes it would be it, her, and she.
Yes. Sometimes it's it because it is for like a thing, like the nose or like a computer or a car, something like that. So try to think of pronoun is going to be something that refers back to a noun. And it could be an object for it, or it could be a person like he or she. So just try to think of that. That helps me when I look at the word pronoun. I see, oh yeah, noun. Okay, it takes the place of a noun. Okay, good question though. Capital, that's pretty easy. That's just the first word. Got that. And an end mark is a period. Got that. Boom, we're done. That was good. All right. So last week, you guys did a practice for the writing test we're going to move on and we're going to go back to our story about the camel in the tent. Do you guys remember that one a while back, a couple weeks ago? So go ahead and get out your binders. Hopefully it's in your front pocket of your binders. Camel in tent is what you're looking for, Sawyer.
I forgot to do the test thing because I was doing my tests yesterday and the day after that.
That's okay. Your mom told me, so you don't have to do it. It's okay.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, don't worry
Because
about
I
it.
didn't want to be behind.
You're not. That was just kind of an extra practice, so you're not behind.
Okay, and I forgot to do the camel thing with the stone.
Okay, well, you do need to do that one. But you can work on that this week. It's not too bad. It's going to be pretty easy. Hopefully you guys have this in your front pocket. So get out camel intent and you're going to look for this one. Remember we started this last time. And then Ashlyn, did you have a question or something to say?
Oh no, I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Camel intent. Now, some of you did already do the first paragraph. If you already did it and you want to read the paragraph to us, we can do that now if you want to read your paragraph. Ashlyn, do you have yours? Okay, or you have it in front of you, or do you want me to pull it?
Can you look for it? I don't have it.
I can. Does anybody else want to read theirs too? London? Okay, do you want me to pull up yours too? Or do you have it?
Mine is on the Chromebook, but I haven't submitted it yet.
Okay. Well, if you know how to get to it during class, you can do that. Otherwise, you might have to wait till next week to read it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if you didn't turn it in yet, that means I don't have it either. So
Are we reading the camel tent one?
yeah, so far you did one paragraph on it. I found yours, Ashlyn. It's right
Okay.
here. Yep.
I was trying to fix it because I kept putting because of and then it didn't make sense. So I was trying to figure out what to put, but I haven't figured out yet.
Okay, that's okay. You can still read it the way it is and fix that later. Oh, I see. You just ended on
I forgot before class I was trying to fix it, but then class started.
Maybe you can think of it while you read it, but we can help you come up with something too.
Okay.
So, yeah, when you're ready, go ahead and read it.
Okay. There once was a camel named Batman who wanted to get into Jeffrey's tent. Batman's friend cut a hole into Jeffrey's tent with scissors. Then he happily put his head through the tent. Batman was hungry, so he thought that he would give him food. What is this camel doing in my tent? Jeffrey exclaimed. Jeffrey started to hit pans together. Jeffrey was having a bad and also adventurous day because I don't know what to put after that.
Yes. Okay. So earlier, I think you put he was having a great day, and then you decided, well, wait a second. If he's got a camel in his tent, he's probably not having a fantastic day.
Yeah.
More like a bad day.
So I put bad and then adventurous, and then I didn't know what to put after because I knew I couldn't put because after just because.
So we're going to help you. And hang on, Sawyer, I see your hand, but the first thing we need to do is give her a clap in the camera. Good job. I liked your story or your paragraph so far. So London, Julio, let's do the clap in the camera for her. Good job. Okay. So, Sawyer, did you have an idea? Okay, what's your idea?
I was thinking Jeffrey is having a bad day and also Adventure's Day because he was tired.
Because he was tired? Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, because he came in his tent, he was trying to get him out.
Yeah.
Mashing pans together, he must be tired.
He must be tired.
Pans are heavy.
I'll put that. That sounds good.
Okay. And then London, do you have an idea too?
It was about mine. I have mine right here, but it doesn't have all of the checklist stuff.
Okay. So
But
do you
I can
want to
read
read it?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Before you read it, though, there's two things I need to point out for Ashlyn, and we can help you with these too. You have the word thought right here, Ashlyn. You see that? That's actually a banned word
Oh
now.
yeah.
Yeah. So what's another word we could put there? Batman was hungry, so he blank. How could we explain that without
Um,
thought?
he brainstormed.
Brainstormed, or maybe like
Remembered?
or remembered, maybe hoped. What do you think about that one?
Oh yeah. Well,
Batman was hungry, so he hoped that he would give him food. I'm going to help you by putting that in there so you don't forget that one. And then, actually, I know you changed this from good to bad, but bad is actually a banned word too.
oh yeah.
So, what's another way to say bad? Remember from our list?
Horrible.
Horrible. Yes. I'll just type it in there for you.
I
And then
was going
go ahead.
because he must be tired. I want to put that one.
Nice. Okay, I like it. I'll fix that for you too. Good. Awesome. Thanks for helping her out. Now you're good to go. I'll put a note on that later. And then, London, when you're ready, you can share your paragraph.
Okay. Once upon a time, there lived a camel who was named Munch. A man named John lived in a tent. Munch found a tent and was curious, so he went inside. Much to his surprise, Munch found a man whose name was John. Munch was a greedy camel, so he pushed John right out of the tent because he wanted the whole place to himself. Fortunately, John was not hurt, but Munch still kissed him. John was confused because he had never met a kissing camel before. John was mad at the camel because he made a hole in the tent when he went in, and also because he couldn't get back into the tent.
Yay! Okay, let's give her a clap, you guys. Nice. I love that. A kissing camel. Cute. All right, so we're going to keep going on this story. So you guys, most of you have the first paragraph figured out, but if you haven't done the first paragraph yet, that's okay. You can work on that also. We're going to focus on the second and the third. So you're going to end up doing 3 altogether. So like Sawyer, you'll need to do your 1 later and then adding 2 and 3. This assignment's pretty easy though, because you're making up a story. So you don't have to read articles and find facts and things like that. You're just going to make it up in your head. So on your paper here, you guys should have some words at the very top. Who wants to read the words you have at the very top of your page? Sawyer, you have words up there. What are your words?
Like the keywords?
No, we wrote words here at the very top.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you have?
Who, what, when, where, why, how.
Good. Who, what, when, where, question mark, why, and how. If you don't have those questions written down yet, go ahead and write those down. That is what we're going to use to help us come up with a plot. But I also want you to add one more word up here. Underneath all that is find a spot that you can squeeze it in. I want you to put the word invisible and a question mark, because another way we can come up with a good plot is to imagine that there's something invisible in these pictures. Like, what if there's like 20 camels in the background and we just can't see them in the picture? What if they're all showing up for a party, a camel party? Or what if what if this is at a circus or something? I mean, I know some of you have already started your plots here in the first paragraph, but it could be that they're at a circus and maybe there's elephants and tigers and other animals there too that we just don't see. So putting invisible up there, that'll help you think of some other ideas too. So we're going to focus, like I said, on the second and third pictures today. Okay, so the second picture, look at this one real quick. And remember, right next to Roman numeral 2, it says central fact. That means, what do you literally see in the picture? So Julio, I'm going to start with you. Just look at the actual picture. What do you see in this picture?
The camel pushing him out of the tent.
Okay. And he's inside now, right? Here he's just got his head inside, but here he's got his whole body inside, right? Okay. Now, does everybody have a name for their camel? I know London, you had a name. Ashlyn, did you want to say something?
Do I have to turn back in my camel thing? I meant like not now, but like because you fixed it, or is it fine?
It's fine. It's fine. I'll change your grade on it and then you can just add to it when you add the other paragraphs this week. Yeah, you're fine. Um, so I know London has a name. I think Ashlyn, you put a name for your camel. Does everybody have a name for your camel? Julio and okay, Sawyer, I see that. Julio, not yet. That's okay. So put the name of your camel first. If you don't know yet, Julio, you can just draw a line or you can think of a name right now for your camel. And then we're going to put the words inside tent. So you're going to put your camel's name and then inside tent. Julio?
Do we have to have a name for the camel?
No, you don't have to. You can just call it camel. That's okay.
Because I
You don't
can't
have to have a name.
single name.
You can't think of a name?
I cannot think of a single name that I can name.
You might be inspired later, but you can call him Camel. That's okay. You can call him the Camel. That's
I
okay.
know his name now. Camel.
His name is Camel. There you go. That's easy to remember.
I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to finish my testing because I'm only like halfway through and I still have all this work to do in the one.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what?
And
If
I have so much stuff.
Yeah, that's okay. If your mom wants you to skip this one, just have her text me, okay? Or message me. And it's up to her, okay? Because she's your primary teacher. I'm just your writing teacher. But if she says, yeah, you have too much to do, you don't have to do this one, that's okay. Okay, Julio?
Even if I did have too much, she wouldn't let me.
Oh, okay. So she's gonna make you do it anyway?
Yeah.
Well, at least this is a fun one. All right, so we got the central fact. He's inside the tent. Now we're going to start going through these questions at the top. Okay. How did he get all the way inside? How did he get all the way inside, Sawyer? Or she? It's a girl camel.
It's gonna be a boy for me.
Okay.
I was thinking he wait, I thought we already did that one.
Well, he's inside, but I kind of want to tell like, how did he get inside? He pushed his way in. He ran
He
in.
chewed on the first paragraph. He said he chewed his way through.
Oh, you already got that. Okay, so you don't need to put that on your second paragraph then. But
Because it was on the first paragraph.
it was on the first. That's okay then. How about you, Ashlyn? Do you have any ideas?
I'll be right
I was
back.
going to say he just went in like the tent because in the tent.
He just went in.
Yeah, but actually he made a bigger hole when his friend cut scissors and just stuck his head through and got his whole body through.
Okay, so that's a good one. And by the way, let me just remind you guys, if you want to add extra sentences, even more than what you have on your outline, that's okay. If you need to explain it, another sentence to explain it, that's okay to keep going. But let's move on to another question. Let's move on to the why. Why did he go all the way in the tent? You might have talked about that in the first paragraph too, but let's elaborate on that. Why is he all the way inside the tent? Is it hot outside? I had another class and one of my students said he's having a camel party inside the tent. So he's gonna, plan the party. He's gonna plan games, decorations, and food, and he's gonna invite all his camel friends over to the tent to have a party. That was a good idea. And Sawyer, how about you? Did you think of something?
I already had mine on the first paragraph. It said hot shelter shade.
Okay, well, that's one reason, but maybe he has another.
I got one.
Okay.
Got one.
What else?
He's it was, oh man, I forgot. I'll try to remember it.
Okay, keep thinking about it. Ashlyn has an idea.
He's going to make a lemonade stand
I love it.
because it's so hot.
So you can put that for yours. Not everybody has to write this. This is for hers. Lemonade stand. I like that. If you want to
I
go
got
with
it.
that. What's yours, Sawyer?
There's like a fair going on that year, so he used this tent for a booth, and he's gonna make like some shade on the top.
Okay.
And he's gonna go to this board, and if someone hits like this target, he falls in the water to cool off
yeah.
and for funniness.
That's called a dunk tank. So you could put something like fair and dunk tank. That's what that's called. I know exactly what that is. When you throw the ball and it hits the target and then they fall into the water. Dunk tank. That's a good one. Another one in my other class, they said he wanted to order McDonald's. So he used his flip phone to call McDonald's and then they delivered the food to the tent. So, like I said, you can make up whatever you want. This can be a wild, crazy story, whatever you want it to be. Another student said that he wanted to come in to play Minecraft. So he came in and invited his friends to come in with him and play Minecraft together inside the tent.
I don't think they had video games and DoorDash back then.
That's the thing, though. You can make this up. It doesn't even have to be real at all. Not at all. It could be totally made up. Like another student said that they were doing a fashion show inside the tent and that he wanted to invite his other animal friends. So there was like a duck and a dog that came to the fashion show. So, I mean, the options are endless. Try to think of some silly, funny things that maybe he's doing. Why is he inside the tent? I see Ashlyn's hand.
I changed my mind. I'm going to think that he like made a trampoline park.
Inside the tent?
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a magic tent. Maybe he was able to make the tent huge.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be big enough the way it is here for trampolines, but maybe he had like it's a magic tent and all of a sudden he made it big and then put trampolines in there. So start writing some notes here, you guys, of your ideas. You can keep going on to 2 and 3 and 4. Think of some ideas on what is happening here and what he's wanting to do while he's inside the tent. Okay. And then Sawyer, I see your hand again.
I'm sorry, but I wanted to change mine. It's something really funny.
What did you come up with?
There's like a line outside of the tent.
Okay.
And then when the camel came in, he was in front of the line. When the camel came in, it's a pooping spot.
It's a pooping spot? Is that what you said? Oh my goodness. So he's going to use it like a bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. It's going to get stinky in there. Oh, that's not going to be good. No wonder the guy looks like he's like, what? Don't come in here. Julio, you got an idea?
So, on the first one, not
Yeah.
the camel inside tent, I put the next one, I put camel invite friends, and then I put friends push to Jonathan.
Jonathan, that's a good name. And Jonathan is the guy or the camel? Okay. The camel is just camel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Got it. I like it. So you guys are just going to write down some notes here. Do you have some notes on yours, London? Yeah, you're good? Okay, good. So you're going to use this to help you come up with a plot. But like I said, you're going to add extra sentences because you want to make sure to explain what's going on, keeping in mind this one picture in the middle for the middle paragraph. Ashlyn, did you want to say something?
Do I just put notes from like the who, what,
Yeah.
when, where, and why, huh?
Yep. Thinking
Am
of
I also
other
doing,
things to
and
say.
are we also doing the third paragraph?
Yes, yes, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So I want to give you some time to finish up. And if you can't think of all 5, that's okay. Just put as many as you can think of. And then, like I said, you can make extra sentences when you go to type it or when you go to write it. Just tell the story. This is kind of like a freestyle writing. I see your note in the chat, Lyndon. Oh, that's a good question. How old is he? So you could talk about how old they are, the man and the camel. Okay. Hopefully you got a few on here. It's okay if you didn't finish the whole thing because you might think of stuff later too. Let's move on to the third picture though. Let's look at the third picture. He's not having a very good day. So the central fact, remember right next to the Roman numeral, is going to be what you really see in the picture. So what do you literally see in this picture at the end here? Can you kind of describe what's actually in the picture? And notice if you guys look really carefully on the left side of the tent over here, that's the camel's butt and his tail. Can you see it? It's like sticking out. He's so big. And then the guy, what do you think, London? What's happening? Like, what is literally in this picture? What do you think?
In the third picture,
Yeah.
it looks like John is like, what happened?
Yeah. He's like, whoa. And he's on the outside of the tent now, huh?
Yeah.
He was inside up here and here, but now he's on the outside of the tent. So he either got kicked out or pushed out. What do you think, London? How did he come out?
It kind of looks like the camera like head butted him.
I like it. Head butted. So we can put the guy's name and we could put head butted if you like that idea. He got head butted. What do you think, Sawyer?
First, I think he got pooped out. Like there's so much poop building up. He got like he just like went. Whoa!
Maybe he got like
And-
gassed out, huh? That's how you could put it.
Second thing, did I have to finish all 5 lines with keywords?
Right here on this one.
Yeah.
Not yet. You don't have to yet. You can
Thank
just
goodness.
you can skip down to the last one. If you haven't finished it yet, that's okay. You can skip down to
And
the last one.
and third, my name is Sawyer.
I know. I messed up. I was thinking about something else when I said it. Sawyer. Sorry. Ashlyn.
For like Jeffrey getting kicked out, Batman sprayed water on him.
That's a good one. So you could put Batman sprayed water on here. Or actually you would put that he's on the outside. You could put something like blank pushed out or kicked out. That would work. And then you can go on to number 1 and say something about sprayed water. Whatever you want to put on there. I'm just giving you examples. You don't have to copy mine. Your story is going to be different. So keep thinking about what is happening in this third picture. Now the camel's inside there by himself. What could he possibly be doing inside there? Well, we know Sawyer's camel is going to the bathroom, but you might need to think of something else that's not so gross. Okay, so he goes to the bathroom and then what? Sawyer?
He's reading the newspaper.
He's reading the newspaper. And then you could talk about like what he's reading about. Is he reading about like an event coming up, or maybe he's reading
It's
comics?
the dump. About the dump, how it's building up.
He's reading about the dump while he's going to the bathroom. Your story's gonna be crazy. How about Ashlyn? What do you think?
For
And-
like the second paragraph,
Hold on.
I
So
put magic unicorns give him McDonald's.
I love it. And then on the next line, you could put what he got. Like, did he get a Happy Meal, or what did he get
Yeah.
from
And
McDonald's?
he had a birthday party with his friends.
Oh, that's a good idea with his unicorn friends. I love it. Yeah, keep going on your ideas here. That's good. I like it. How about, did I see your hand, London? Were you going to say something? Oh, no. Okay.
I wasn't finished.
Okay, back to you, Sawyer.
After he was reading the newspaper, he was done with it. He was just playing video games while he was pooping.
He's really multitasking, huh? All right, so go ahead and finish writing down what you're thinking of right now. And then I want to do something else with you before we go. We have a little bit of time left. I want to talk to you about something else. Okay. About this. But yes, Ashlyn, I see your hand there.
Would Happy Meal be like one word?
I think so. Let me see if I can look that up. I don't really know. I think so. Happy Meal. Yeah. Happy Meal. Yeah. Okay. So in your story, as you guys are writing this week, you might want to have some speaking parts. You know, when the camel and the guy are talking back and forth, you might want to do that. Sawyer, go ahead and mute for a second because there's like a little echo with your computer for some reason. There we go. So I'm going to show you how to actually write quotes if you want your characters to talk to each other in your story. So I want everybody to turn this over to the back side of the pictures. Go to the back side of that. And then I want to show you a page in your grammar book. If you could go back to your grammar book really quick, because they have a page in there for writing quotes. Go back to page, hold on, let me find it. It is on page 67. So go to page 67 really quick. I see your hand, Sawyer. Hang on a second. Let me explain this really quick. So go to page 67 in your grammar books. And if you notice down here, it's talking about quotation marks. This is going to help you if you have speaking parts in your story. If you have a Post-it note near you right now, I want you to label this page so that we can come back to it as you're writing your story. It's called, I just put quotations on here. If you don't have a Post-it note, that's okay. You can do that later. Write down somewhere page 67 so you know what page to go to. But we're going to talk about this bottom section right here where it says quotation marks. So if you can write quotations on a Post-it like this on the non-sticky side, and then you can stick it right here so it sticks up past the page like this. That way, see how you can see my fanboys one? It's kind of cool. That way you can go back to those pages if you need to. All right. We went through this before, but it says down here, quote, I want the gold. And then it says attribution, the princess declared. So those are the two parts of a speaking sentence. Okay. If you have your characters, your camel and your guy, or even the friends, if you want them to talk in your story, you're going to use it like this. So the quote has quotation marks around it. That's what they actually said. Like maybe your camel says, "Get out of my tent," or not your camel, your guy. What the guy says, "Get out of my tent. What are you doing in here?" That would be inside the quotation marks. And then after that would be the attribution, like Jeffrey asked, or Bob yelled, or whatever your camel or your guy's name is. He yelled that, maybe something like that. And then down here, you can see sometimes the attribution comes first and then the quote. And then here's examples down here with a question mark and with an exclamation mark. So what I want you to use this page for is looking especially at the punctuation. Notice how sometimes there's a period after the quote, sometimes there's a question mark or an exclamation point. And then sometimes if the quote comes first, sometimes there's a comma. So it depends on how you want to write the speaking parts. Okay, so now go back to your blank page on the back of your pictures of your camel. And let's practice a sentence here. How about, I know Sawyer, you have your hand up. Do you remember what you were going to say?
Two things. I
Okay.
thought of what my camel could say after
Okay.
my man yelling at him.
Okay. What do you want your camel to say?
But before that, I have the first thought that I got in my head when you said, like when they're speaking. My mom said, when you do that, you have to do it for the whole story.
Um, Sometimes that's true, sometimes, but sometimes you can just have random speaking parts too. Does that
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So she's right, but there's sometimes where you can do it where it's just like random, like a couple of times they talk, but not throughout the whole thing.
And the other thing is so funny. It's so I don't even want to say it. It's so funny. My cam after my since my camel doesn't speak, I'm just gonna it's just gonna say moo ribbit ba.
That's
Other
funny.
different animal noises and not camels.
Like he's confused. Well, no wonder he's going to the bathroom while reading a newspaper and playing a video game. So he's got a lot of things going on. Okay, Ashlyn, did you have an idea? And then I see you, London.
In my story, he invited Fred and George, the twin birds, and they shared with him. And then they were flying planets in the background, and Jeffrey sat on one of the planets
Oh my gosh.
because he was sad.
No, that's a good one. London, did you want to share something?
Is Sawyer's camel, is it gonna actually sit on the toilet?
Okay, who
And-
can think? Oh, go
And
ahead.
I one more thing that I added to my mind. It translates. I've got some privacy, please.
Who can think of a good speaking part for your story? What is someone, either the camel or the guy? What's a good sentence? What's a good speaking part? Ashlyn, did you think of one?
I was going to put like I didn't put it in my story, but I'm going to write some sentences that they say for and like Batman's going to say hi to Fred and George, and then Jeffrey's going to say, "What a bad day," when he sits on the planets.
Or he could say, "I'm having a bad day," or something like that. Okay, that's a good one. And London, did you think of one?
John can say, "Man, this place sure is smelly."
This place sure is what?
Smelly.
Smelly. Yes, let's do that one. Let's practice that one together on the back. So let's put quotation marks first, and then I like that. Man, comma, and we're going to do a capital M because that's the beginning of what he says, right? This place sure is smelly. And then I think we should put an exclamation mark on that one because, yeah. He's saying it with passion, right? This place sure is smelly. And then who's saying this, by the way, London? Is this for Sawyer's story or is this in your story?
Either one.
Either one. Okay, so for your story, who would say that?
John.
John. And then instead of putting said, actually, I need to put John over here. Sorry, let's put it after he says it. John, instead of putting said, because that's banned, what could we put, London? John yelled, John shouted, exclaimed. What do you think, London? What could we have? How are we going to have him say it?
Maybe exclaimed.
Exclaimed. I like it. So I'm going to put that down here because I'm out of room. I'm out of room. Okay, so notice the punctuation. We've got the quotation marks. That's what he says. We've got an exclamation mark on the inside. And then we have John is capital because it's a name. So that's always going to be capital. John exclaimed, period. Okay, what's another quote? Let's practice another one. What's something else that you could say in, okay, Sawyer, what's something that is going to be a speaking part in your story?
Two things. Smelly, isn't smelly an ly adverb?
Actually, it's an imposter because it's telling about a thing, which would be probably the poop, right? So it's describing a noun, so it's going to be an imposter. It's ly, but it's not an adverb. It's an adjective. Good question, though. What's the other thing you want to say?
I thought of mine.
Okay.
It's going to be, it was, just give me a second. I got it right here. I got it. It was, what are you doing here, you dummy? Get out, scat. And he says, ribbit, rot, bat. Ribbit, rot, bat.
And who's
Moo.
saying it? Who's actually saying it in your story?
Super dude.
Super dude. Okay, I see your hand, Ashlyn. Hang on a second. So super dude. And how is he going to say it?
He was like in sort of like an a angry tone voice. He's not actually angry, but it's an
Okay.
angry tone voice.
Okay, so that could be something like
Yelled.
yeah, it could be yelled, shouted, it could be grunted. Sometimes that's the angry sound, like he grunted at him. Growled, grumbled. Those are all good angry words.
People don't growl.
Well, sometimes it kind of sounds like that. Let's use yelled, though. Let's go with that one. Yelled. And then you're going to put a comma because the attribution is first here. So you guys can write, even though you guys don't have this character, you can practice writing this on the back of your paper anyway. Get out of here, dummy, MMY. This is going to be another exclamation mark and a quotation mark.
He's
Like that.
so frustrated. Sometimes he says stuff that he doesn't really mean.
You could put frustratedly, super dude frustratedly yelled. That would work if you wanted to add.
Like frustratedly?
Yeah.
Isn't that an ly adverb too?
That is an ly adverb. So you could, sorry, that's not spelled right. There we go. You could underline that as your ly adverb there.
I'll think about
Super
it.
dude frustratedly yelled, "Get out of here, dummy!" Okay, Ashlyn, I'm sorry. I know you're waiting. Go ahead.
Batman's going to be like, Fred and George, get this person out of here.
He's going to say that to Fred and George.
No, no, yeah, yeah. Batman's going to say it.
Okay, he can say Batman, is he gonna demand? Maybe you could say Batman demanded,
Yeah.
be a good one. Demanded, comma, quote, get Fred and George out of here! Exclamation point.
No, I was going to say Fred and George get out. I meant Fred and George um get Jeffrey out of this tent.
Oh, got it. Okay, I might have to change this here. Fred and George get Jeffrey out of this tent. There. So ignore that space because you don't need that space there. I just had to erase my word. But basically, you're going to put who's speaking and then a comma and then the quote. That's how you do it. Now, you can use that page in your grammar book to help you with the punctuation. We're over time right now, but go ahead and write these down just for practice for you. But obviously, you can change up the sentences to match your story and your characters. But the
We have to do
checklist,
all of them.
so, oh, back here, you mean?
Mhm.
Yes, but I have to go. So if you didn't write them all down, that's okay. I just wanted to do some practice with you. Okay. So if you didn't get a chance to write them down, that's okay. London, did you have your hand up for a second? Did you want to say something?
Can I go now?
Yes, you can go. We're done. Make sure you guys use a checklist. So you're going to do paragraphs 2, finish up this 2 and 3, and you're going to write both paragraphs. So when you turn it in, it's going to be all 3 paragraphs. Okay. You can go now. I'm all done. See you guys next
Bye.
week. Bye. Have a good week. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye, Julio.
Bye.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.